After that, I
I have 10 minutes queue.
It may look like this is safe to jump down. But
Hi guys, I'm back. I just had to restart my Fortnite.
I'm 10 minutes queue.
As I go down, you're gonna see that chest start to appear. This is Parker, and if you've never seen videos of him before, he is really good at belly flops, and he really enjoys them. So we wanted to see how high we could take this, and we didn't want to just do it off the handrail of the second floor. We wanted to go even higher to the ceiling, hanging off the I-beam. But we've never really done them hanging before, so we stacked up these mats and went to this area where you don't have to take the full height drop if you're hanging from the ceiling, and make sure to practice it there first. Now, in this next clip, you can see that his clothes are different. It's because last week he wasn't really quite fully ready to progress any further, but this week he came back and progressed some more, and now he said he was finally ready to climb up to
I'm at 10-minute queue. Sorry guys. You have to wait this long.
Drop and do the whole thing. And then he finally did it. He did it so perfect too. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Parker, he's going places. This is Parker, and if you...
That's wonderful. How do you feel? Horny. Really horny. Could you put him back so I can push him out again? I was born 9 times that day. Things never got easier. The only way I learned my ABCs was by learning the names of all the guys my mom slept with. Art, Bob, Chet, Don, Ed, Frank, Gus, Hal, Herb, John, Ken, Blue, Matt, Ned, Oxpat, Quint, Ron, Sam, Tom, Ulf, Vic, Walter, Xavier, Yaz, and Zeke. Those are just some of the guys. There are lots of other guys.
Outflow.
Alright, here we go. What are we getting this time? Kiwi, strawberry cheesecake. What? 2 kiwis, 1 strawberry cheesecake. It tastes like a flipping green apple lollipop. That's what I'm going with. Kiwi cheesecake. Really? Kiwi cheesecake. Strawberry jam, French vanilla. What the? 2 strawberry jams, 2 French vanillas. Oh my, that is so good. It's like those strawberries you get and you put the whipped cream on them in a cup. I don't know what it's called though. Come on. Strawberry shortcake. Alright, here we go. What are we getting this time? Kiwi, strawberry cheesecake. What?
Water is amazing in space. First of all, how do astronauts drink water in space without gravity? Drinking water in space is different than on Earth, and you might drown if you are not careful enough. When the lid is open, the water inside will not flow down but form a big water ball, which is attached to the astronaut. If you use a straw to suck the water, it will not move out from the straw as it should be. Like and subscribe as you watch this astronaut play ping pong with water. When you put fizzy tablets in the water, bubbles are formed. But instead of popping, the bubbles just increase the size of the water ball. This is what happens when you cry in space. Here's what happens when you wring a wet cloth in space. You can see the water cools into his hand. Water is amazing in space.
Being in people on. There's a Minecraft feature you've never noticed. You might have realized that certain.
Damn it, Peter! Your plane set my lawn on fire!
Hey, that ought to cover it.
Peter, this has gone on long enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lois. We all had some pot brownies on the plane.
You're not qualified to sit in that chair. Oh, aren't I? Ah! Ah!
6
There's a
minutes,
rabbit
6
head over here.
minutes, 6 minutes, 30 seconds queue.
My damn, it's so long and I hate queue.
Busters has these mystery Minecraft squish meets where you can find a rare charged creeper for only 1,100 tickets. Let's try to win this. I started with tons of tickets trying to grab the 500, but we actually got 220, which isn't bad. So I went back at it again, where we ended up snatching this 500, but it was literally hanging on by a thread. I have no clue how this happened, but we somehow managed to get this 500. After tons of tickets, I went over to my favorite game, Pop the Lock. We popped the lock only 1 time for a jackpot of 350 tickets. I then wanted to redeem myself for Wheel of Fortune, so I went over, we got a spin and landed 40. Wow! I got another spin back to back, and guess what? We landed a whopping 60. Come on, let's get a jackpot. So I tried again, and we landed a 40 again. I played again. Come on, big money, big money, big money. 90. I decided to give it one last shot where we landed a whopping 40. I got mad, so I went over to Blast Off where we landed a jackpot for 260 tickets. I had enough for one of these Minecraft mystery squish meets. There's a 1 in 24 chance of finding that charged creeper. Let's open it up, and we got a cow.
Yep.
Hey,
What?
Battle Pass.
It started for you?
Say you love me.
I'll see you
Oh my god, I have to wait now.
I'm just kidding. I'm still 5 minutes queuing.
I'm
run up and grab the
almost 5 minutes queue.
of this sign. So I wiped my shoes off and tested the grip on the wall first to make sure I wasn't going to slip. And then when I ran up the first time, I was not very close. I had to run a lot faster to get closer and closer to actually grabbing it. I was starting to get really close, but I had to sprint to get my first touch on the bottom of the sign. And then these bikers drove by and said they gave me a 10 out of 10, which was so kind of them to say. I was finally starting to grab it, but on this one I just barely hung on, so I was really excited that I finally got my challenge. So I climbed up to the top to celebrate by ripping off my shirt and eating it down to the ground, and Roland likes to eat things too, so he did as well. I wanted to run.
You won't believe this, but in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, in this scene, we see Indy 500 trying to outrun a boulder. But did you know that they didn't plan this scene? Which means the entire scene was real. Someone even shouted, "Is that a boulder?" To which the director responded, "It's not just a boulder, it's a rock." And finally, the director, seeking even more insanity for this scene, shouted, "Quick, someone throw a spider web in front of him." Yes, yes. You won't believe this, but it...
Yeah.
Last time I did my PetSmart portrait trick shot, you guys said you couldn't see it on the TV, so I went back to fix it.
Look, what if I share play you, and you start the live and pretend, and I can pretend that you are me?
I'm just wondering, I just want to...
Okay, so I was just gonna ask you where to do it one more time.
It's me, yes.
My game plan for this sign is to get every single letter first, and then hit the final dot. I'm on absolute fire right now, I'm not missing. But the P fell off, so we'll have to come back. Right on the A-hole.
That was a good hole.
I'm kind of built for this. Even though this is the fastest I've hit every letter, the R still fell off before I could get to the dot.
R for Rachel.
R for Rachel. And for all of you that commented your name, it's all on this plunger.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate it.
Did it for YouTube or
Yeah, yeah. Oh, watch out, by the way, just in case.
Okay.
It's built different.
Built different.
I just broke my $100 magnet. You can't even fix them. The two pieces are not even compatible with each other anymore. This piece is now its own magnet. At least it makes sparks now. Once a magnet breaks, it becomes its own magnet. So now the magnet that broke is now two individual magnets. When the magnet breaks, it changes its polarity. You can't glue both new pieces back together because they will pull away from each other. The only way you'll be able to put them back together is if you melted them. After gluing the
2 minutes 30 seconds queue.
Mine's, what do you mean, it's hard for you?
Their magnetic power. So then I'm left
It's
with
2 minutes 30 seconds queue.
Oh, mine's is 3 minutes.
$100 magnet. You can't even fix them. The two pieces are not even compatible with each other anymore.
These are the useless things we do in candy making because it's really, really, really fun. Number one, holding it up so it drips. We don't have to do this, it's just cool, we like it. Number two is bubbles. We just love bubbles. They're fun to pop and they're really pretty to look at. So useless. So useless. Number three is something only Ian does because it takes so much skill and no one else can do it, but candy writing, you don't have to do it, but wow. These are the useless things.
Has a customer ever said, "I know the owner," just to get free stuff? Yes, this has happened before, and usually it's the cheapest people that never want to pay extra for their cheese or their meat. I'll tell them the meat's going to be an extra $1 or the cheese is going to be an extra 60 cents, and they'll always be like, "No."
BRB. Alright guys, I'm back. You know why I see guys? Because I'm also live, that's why.
I'm 10 seconds queue.
I'm 46. I'm 41 seconds.
I've got 15 real copies of Pokemon Emerald and one fake one. Let's see if Joey can find
Okay,
out
I'm going in. I'm logging in.
One of these Pokemon Emeralds is fake.
Give me 30 seconds to find which one. Okay, now.
I'm ready. Real
Not
copy?
responding.
Real?
There's server downtime.
20 seconds. Real? Real?
It restarted.
Real?
It resetted.
Real? Real?
Yeah, I know. It's server downtime.
Real?
Install Apex, dude.
Real?
Just delete the game and install Apex.
No.
Just in time.
I don't
Both
want
were
to.
legends in their high school.
Dude, I don't
When this
want
kid was a freshman in high school, he was always bullied by the wrestling
So
and boxing
bored.
club students. And he was beat up really badly that year. So during the summer, he started working out every day. And a few weeks ago, I ordered a pizza using a Minecraft mod that let me browse the internet, and it actually came to my house. So what would happen if I tweeted using that same mod? Would it say Twitter for iPhone, Android, or even Samsung Smart Fridge? To answer this question, I logged onto Twitter using this mod, and here's what happened.
Alright, so now I'm just gonna tweet. Okay, no, I'm gonna tweet. Tweeted this from the Goofy Minecraft mod. Okay, now I just gotta send tweet. Oh my god, that worked.
And surprisingly, it said Twitter for Goofy Minecraft mod. Just kidding, it actually just says this. A few weeks ago, I ordered a pizza.
This is what you do when you find a popsicle. What? Oh, wait, it's wax. You use it. And you put it back. Thank you. This is what you do when you find
me some Skittles, but I didn't want to pay for them. And then one of the store attendants came up to me and was like, put that back. And then he grabbed my arm and I said, don't touch me. Me some.
Have I just done the impossible in fish keeping? For the last week, I've been out of town, and in preparation, I cleaned my tank, but made a huge mistake. When refilling the tank, I forgot to dose the water with liquid fertilizer. So for the last week, my duckweed has been slowly dying. Luckily though, not all of it died, so I'm going to try and save it by dosing the tank with fertilizer, and hopefully it will grow in again within a week. Before now, I've never had this much duckweed die off at once, which is why I asked myself, have I just done the...
Think I can crush this penny between my fingers? Piece of cake. I don't have superpowers, I just know some chemistry. I started by scratching some pennies to reveal the zinc underneath, and then threw them in hydrochloric acid. The acid dissolved the zinc metal, leaving the copper shell untouched. Before long, the pennies actually float up to
I still have it.
After neutralizing the acid,
Okay, I'm gonna
I left these
download
cool
it.
hollow coins that weigh only a few percent of the original. Pretty cool, right? This is a handheld Tesla coil. This little battery-powered coil is small enough to...
Oh my god, Kelvin opened.
Nice. Okay, I know you're lying. I know you're lying, so send me a picture.
Wait, we have to see one thing. Yasho Piosisa.
What?
Yeah, I don't. Someone just said in the chat hi to my and just telling me hi, and I didn't, but I don't know who he is.
Fit my hand. It still packs a surprisingly strong punch. When the switch is pressed, an arc shoots out from the tip. Do you know?
You have to know every subscriber that you have.
Oh, Christos Okalari. Okay, yeah, Christo.
Held Tesla coil.
It's a friend from school.
So you actually in Fortnite?
When the switch is
Nah, I'm
pressed,
just kidding.
an arc shoots out from the tip.
I'm just kidding.
That you hear from the air exploding from the powerful electric pulse, much like a little lightning bolt. Inside, a pair of MOSFETs switches current to the coil over 1 million times per second. Now, something like this is a lot more fun than it is useful, but still can do most of the cool tricks that a big Tesla coil can do. It can wirelessly power up various kinds of light bulbs and gas tubes. Do you know what the name of this butterfly is? This is the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. So the craziest thing just happened to me. I was out in the woods with my dad when this squirrel came out to greet us. Check it out. That's not magic. It's just simple chemistry. I've added some acetone to a watch glass here, which dissolves the polystyrene that makes up the styrofoam cup. Since styrofoam is mostly just air, this means that the volume is dramatically reduced by dissolving the plastic, as it allows all the trapped gas to escape. The resultant goo is highly flammable. A pyrotechnic styrofoam. You could almost call this stuff styropyro. Yes, this is actually the origin of my username styropyro. Pretty cool, right? This is lithium chloride. When burned in alcohol, it makes a red flame. What happens when I burn it with electricity instead? Still makes red. That color is due to lithium's atomic emission spectrum. It's actually pretty crazy how the red emission completely washes out the other colors of the flame. Pretty cool, right? This is lithium chloride.
Don't fall.
Well, yeah, don't fall.
Alright, I have to wait 6 minutes for the
But
queue.
have you ever seen black fire before? This isn't CGI. This is exactly how it looks in real life. I added some salt to this flame here, and I'm illuminating it with a low-pressure sodium lamp. Both the light... Oh my goodness, somebody hit! Did you know that lighter flints aren't actually made out of flint? Nowadays they use a metal alloy called ferrocerium. Here I have a massive piece of this alloy. When scraped with a knife, the shavings ignite immediately in air as they react quickly with oxygen, and the heat produced by friction on scraping helps get things going as well. My favorite trick with ferrocerium is to put it on a grinding wheel for a huge shower of sparks. Pretty cool, right? Did you know... Wait for it. That's not CGI. That's just a chemical clock reaction. When the chemicals are first mixed, nothing seems to happen at first. But in reality, the iodine product is being consumed by a small amount of an additional compound. When this runs out, the solution suddenly turns black, as there's nothing left to react to the iodine that's being produced. This is a 1300 carat crystal of ruby. This one is man-made and has been ground into a rod for use in a laser. When hit with violet light, the ruby is energized and it releases that energy in the form of red light, and that's why it glows so brightly here. Now this effect is part of the reason it works so well in a laser. Now here's a ruby laser that I built using a smaller crystal. Pretty cool, right? This is a How many colors are in white light? All the colors? Check it out. This is a kilo of gallium metal. Gallium is a liquid at just barely over room temperature. Want to see something cool? I blocked the opening on the syringe so I can draw a vacuum. Check out what happens when I pull it back near the Tesla coil. You get this awesome purple arc. The reason it makes this arc in the tube is due to the fact that lower pressure gas is easier to ionize. Well, to a point at least. This is why the arc from this Tesla coil becomes so much bigger than in regular air. Pretty... A little maitake mushroom with a danger noodle for scale. Do you know what the brightest color is? Our eyes are much more sensitive to some colors than others, and that's why this green laser appears brighter than this much more powerful violet laser. It turns out that the brightest color is actually a lime green hue, specifically light with a wavelength of 555 nanometers. These are bars of pure silver. What happens if I throw some in nitric acid?
Hey Kelvin, how you doing? Good?
At first, not much happens, but after heating it up a bit, a violent reaction occurs that gives off scary nitrogen dioxide fumes. After cooling and drying, I'm left with these pretty crystals of silver nitrate. Now there's a lot of ways to convert this back into silver metal. My favorite way is to react it with copper. This copper scaffolding grows into this beautiful silver tree when placed in the silver nitrate solution. Those needle-like protrusions are crystals of extremely pure silver metal, and the blue color of the liquid is from the copper that's being dissolved. Pretty cool, right? Some of you asked why a Tesla coil optimized for wireless energy transmission is different than one designed for arc. Think I can crush this penny between... This is my brightest laser. This monster produces... What could possibly go wrong? I call this the plasma flower. By sticking a plasma globe on this high-power RF oscillator, I get some absolutely stunning effects. Since the frequency of the oscillator is around 1,000 times higher than the original globe, the plasma inside behaves quite differently than normal. In this case, though, the glass inside is melting, which adds contaminants to the gas mix and changes its properties. This also means that the display won't last long, but I'd say it's worth it. Pretty cool, right? I love eating things I find. You ever wonder what happens if you throw a penny in some nitric acid? So check this out. That's a tornado. You ever wonder what a quarter covered in Corona? Did you know that... This is a I was chopping up some old lantern batteries the other day to harvest the graphite rods, and it occurred to me that these casings are made out of pure zinc. What happens if I feed some zinc to the demon circuit? Check out those crazy lasers. You ever wonder what happens if you put 1,000 amps through a quarter? Let's do this scientifically. You can watch the voltage here and the current here. Open circuit, it's only 2 volts, and that's why it can't shock me. And it sags to under a volt when I put the quarter across it. But check out that current. Over 1,200 amps. That is one toasty quarter. Pretty cool, right? Yep. It's cookie time. Alright, so we got a yellow LED here.
We're gonna fine-tune the wavelength by dropping in liquid nitrogen.
Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, you ready? Alright, here we go. I fell off.
Yep, I heard it play.
They're pretty rare, which really is a shame because that couple. Take a look at this chonker. Check this out. This is a giant flash lamp from the 70s that was made for powering huge pulsed lasers. Here I'm just hitting it with high voltage, low current to make the xenon inside glow. But in reality, this isn't magic, this is just simple chemistry. I'm using a super absorbent polymer called sodium polyacrylate that can absorb hundreds of times its own weight in water. It was originally developed as a way to increase water retention in soils, but the chemist did too good of a job because it'll hold an insane amount of water without giving it up. Have you ever seen an electric fire extinguisher? It's super interesting, but you've probably learned about conductors versus insulators at some point. This coin here is a pretty good conductor of electricity, but electrical tape makes a good insulator since it breaks the circuit. Now it turns out that insulators are only good to a point. When the voltage across an insulator is high enough, it actually becomes a conductor. The molecules in it begin ripping apart to form a conductive plasma. And this is why even materials like glass can conduct electricity depending on the voltage and thickness. Did you know that peanut butter glows in the dark? This is easy to test. Ever wonder what happens if you put 1,000 amps through a gallon? Check it out. What happens when you take car ignition? Have you ever seen this? This is a giant crystal of calcite. This is actually... Think I can...
My buddy Drage was convinced he could fit through the bullseye. I personally didn't think any of us could, but I gave it a try and said shloop and made it through.
Yep. Oh, that would have been so cool if it opened right now. Damn it. Well, 14 minutes, guys. I'm sorry.
It was fine. After that, we all threw some flips. Drew did this really cool gainer thing. Nick ended up going through and be like, I'm a big watermelon. And then I threw this really cool 1.5, but didn't quite make it through the ring. That's okay, because Drake did the most perfectest, most beautifulest swan dive I've ever seen. But what do you know? He didn't fit through after all. My buddy Drake was convinced he could fit through the bullseye. I personally didn't.
My mom has recently threatened to stop buying me advent calendars. Here's why.
Remember when I made a video about all of these online claw machines? Remember this popsicle machine? Yeah, that's supposed to be SpongeBob. It looks horrific. Well, they added a brand new machine, and the theme of it is Rent Television Claw Machine. Look, that's me holding up me, but it's horrible looking. We've got that beautiful SpongeBob popsicle called Profile Picture, me creeping right there like, hey, what's up? Ooh, someone's trying No, sadly, you know what? Just give it to them. Okay, so this is what the player sees while they're playing on their phone, okay? So here we go, someone's playing. Yay, claw machine. Hi, I'm Brent TV, interrupting this program. Oh, I'm gonna help them out. Here you go. Whee! So this is...
Can you do one while spinning? Yeah, let's do it. Alright, here we go. Canvas is spinning. We're gonna go with yellow first. Like it so far. Let's do this bright violet. Let's try a rose. we'll do a mint green. And then we'll add some white. We'll just do a little...
Hey, it's Kay, and I made Luffy's favorite meat on the bone from One Piece. So first I had to cut down the bone of the drumstick to create like these chicken tulips. And then in a bowl I added half a pound of chicken, 1/8 panko, 1.5 tablespoons of milk, then salt and pepper, and mixed it all together. Then I sprayed down a baking tray and put oil on my hands, put down a little bit of the mixture, then the egg and the drumstick, finally covering it with the rest of the mixture. And then into the oven at like 450 for like 30 minutes. Then I left it to rest for like 5 minutes. And it's ready to eat. Hey, it's Kay, and I made Luffy's favorite meat on the bone from...
Chris? What the hell happened to you?
Mother, father, I decided to have myself chemically castrated.
Why the hell would you do that?
Now nobody will have any reason to be afraid of me or think I'm a pervert, and everybody can just treat me like normal again.
Oh my God, I can't believe my son's some kind of weirdo. Oh, here comes another sandwich. I can't even look at you.
Chris?
I invented the burrito bumper, the food funnel for sloppy burritos that catches your fallen fillings and carefully crafts a secondary taco for you to enjoy. First, effortlessly insert a tortilla into the bottom basket and begin binging on your overstuffed burrito. As it ultimately falls apart, the overflow of ingredients will conveniently flow into the funnel and be swiftly inserted into your newly created taco below. Upon the last bite of your burrito, simply reach down and go to town on your freshly recycled taco creation. I invented the
Let's play the game Shut the Box, but instead of using these dice, we're gonna use these ones. Look at these. Okay, here we go. That is 6 and 1, that's a 7. 6 and 1 again, that's a 7. 6 and 1, here we go. 4 and 1, that's a 5, let's go. 2 and 3, we'll do 2 and 3, why not? 8, we have an 8. We have 4 and 9 left, can we get it? That is a 9, oh my God, can we get the 4? We are so close. That is a 4! Let's go! Let's play the game.
I'm here with the Spice King. Let's make the world's spiciest pasta. Fuck. Olive oil in the pan. A little bit of garlic, cayenne peppers, pepperoncino, Genghis Khan brain. Yeah, we're not doing Parmesan today. Cherry tomatoes. 1.
Did this reset? Oh God.
2 million Scoville ghost pepper. Oh, I'm fucking scared. 2 million Scoville unit Carolina Reaper.
This shit looks fucking angry.
It's gonna be really
Everybody, I'm gonna restart my game again.